tradition here. The distinguished Senator Magnus Abe, your CV is well loaded. Anybody who goes through it will have no question for you. But I understand the way my colleague is going, Senator Garba Medoki. When you see a big tree, if you climb it, you try to get something. But we have always known what you stood for over the years. So I think he's not somebody who can start subjecting to questions and answer sessions. We know what you can do. And as a true Ogoni man, you came in your full regalia, your cap and everything. So we know that you are more concerned about what happens in this sector, having served there severally and in the board of the NNPC. So, Chairman, if you permit me, I would like to second the motion. That you are moving, you move. He has moved already. Vice Chairman has moved. So I would like to second this motion with every amount of sincerity and respect for Senator Magnus Abe, who is before us, accompanied by my colleague in the 8th Senate, Senator Philip Aduda. So there are so many senators here accompanying him. So let him take a bow and go. And he'll have another day with us to interact with us on the activities of this sector. I so second.
And seconded. Those in favor should say aye. Aye. And those against, the ayes have it. In line with our tradition, in line with our rules, which you are conversant with, Senator Magnus Abe, our own. We won't deny you the privileges as a senator. So thank you very much.
We'll invite him another day.
You want to introduce yourself?
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, the distinguished senator would like to sit and observe the proceedings, if you so wish. Thank you. He's only observing. Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
I think as the chairman,
thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, having ruled, express my appreciation to this committee for the honor done not only to me, but to our colleagues that accompanied me here. I understand the sentiments of my distinguished brother that it would have been nice for me to say something about the trending issues in the Niger Delta. But I want to assure the committee that once you confirm me, and I'm chairman of the NUPRC, you have me to yourself. Anytime you want to see me, I will be here. And whatever I have in my head, we will share together for the progress of Nigeria. But for the honor you have done me today, I want to say a big thank you to you all, and may God bless and sustain your work. Let me now take my bow, sir.
Honorable.
Very, very difficult time for the entire planet. It's not a Nigerian challenge, it's a global challenge. And I believe that Nigeria is in a far better position to ride out this storm than a lot of other countries. Because you must look at the balancing act. Prices will definitely be affected, but revenues from our oil sales will also be positively affected. So I believe that there will be some measure of balance in what will happen, because at some point it may be important for us as a country and as citizens of our country to realize that we're part of a global community and there are things that we cannot escape, no matter how hard we try. Our prayers should be, we're talking about people, oil and prices, but as we speak now, human beings are actually dying. I think that all our prayers should be that as quickly as possible, this conflict, which in my opinion is unnecessary and harmful to the entire world, should be quickly brought to an end so that we can all begin to recover. But I enjoin Nigerians to also understand that a time of great challenges is also a time of great opportunity. Don't always only look at the bad side, but always balance your views, because challenges are also opportunities. So I believe that Nigerians will also be able to take advantage of the opportunities that will arise. If they're blocking gas, this is an opportunity for us to focus on how we can optimize our own gas production, which will create more jobs and also create more opportunities. If the price of oil is going up, it gives us an opportunity to also invest in marginal fields that otherwise would not have been profitable, but can be profitable under this new regime. So it's a balancing act. Nigeria will survive it.
What are we expecting with this position you have been given?
First of all, President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Tinubu, for considering not just me, but other members of this board worthy of service to this country. I see this as a great privilege and a great opportunity to contribute our own quota to the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, which is to renew the hope of Nigerians in every sector. And I want to use this opportunity to assure the people of this country that we are going to do our best. If you look at the PIA, it provides a clear framework to take care of a lot of the challenges in the industry. People are talking about vandalization and all that. With the PIA and the host communities fund, the host communities themselves are now stakeholders. They too will benefit from production, and nobody destroys what is eating. So I think that the framework is there to address some of the challenges facing the industry, and all we have to do is to work together with the management, work together with other stakeholders to take advantage of this framework to create an enabling environment for prosperity in this country, and that's what we're going to do. Thank you very much.